A Ukrainian forensic team found fragments of missile amongst the wreckage of flight PS-752. That's one reason the Iranian government couldn't continue to claim mechanical error brought down the plane. They bulldozed the site, but examination of the pieces and interviews with eyewitnesses revealed the terrible truth. Thousands gathered around Azadi Square in central Tehran last night, chanting, "Shame on our stupid leaders," and "Guns, tanks and mullahs get lost." Fury about the accidental shooting of the plane and the attempted cover-up has morphed into wider protest against the Islamic State. Chaotic footage shot by protesters appears to show the security forces beating people. Here, if you look carefully, you can see one with a gun. Escaping the security forces, a woman shouts, "They fired tear gas at the protesters. Azadi Square, death to the dictator." Nearby, blood stains the pavement. A voice off camera says, "We've seen 7 people shot so far. It's all blood." Another woman screams that she's been shot in the leg, and there's more blood on the pavement. A semi-official news agency released footage of the British ambassador, who was briefly arrested after being accused of attending a protest on Saturday. He says he went to a vigil for the dead and left when the chanting began. Today, the Foreign Secretary summoned the Iranian ambassador to the UK.
Let me be very clear about this. He was not attending or recording a political protest or demonstration. His arrest later that day without grounds or explanation is a flagrant violation of international law.
None of it deterred students at Sharif University in Tehran this morning. 16 of the dead were graduates who had emigrated. "You took our best and replaced them with clerics," they chanted. A state TV anchor, Gelari Jabari, resigned, saying, "It was very hard for me to believe the killing of my countrymen. I apologize for lying to you on TV for 13 years. Many Iranians, it seems, are unconvinced by the government line.
If I want to be honest with you and give my opinion, the problem is lack of appropriate structures, whether in improvement of defense systems or in how we should tell the truth to the people. We had absolutely no intention of concealing anything from the people."
Last night, protesters tore down pictures of General Soleimani, killed by the Americans in Baghdad. Any nationalist boost to the Iranian state has been destroyed by the shooting down of a civilian aircraft and the cover-up that followed.
Well, our international editor, Lindsay Hilsum, is in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, now. Lindsay, we've seen President Trump tweeting in Farsi today, presumably hoping that the people and also the government will see it. Is it having any effect there?
Well, I think what it shows, I mean, it's the first time that President Trump has tweeted in any language other than English. It shows the policy of maximum pressure, and certainly people in authority in Iran will have seen it. It was a rather odd tweet. It said that he couldn't care less whether Iran negotiated or not and told the government not to shoot protesters. It also means that the government can say, as it always does, that these protesters are being orchestrated by the Americans. Maybe what's having more impact inside is the number of Iranian celebrities who are talking about what's going on. The only female medalist from the Olympics, she has defected. There's been a very significant actress. She has criticised the government. Quite a few people are coming out. And I think that will encourage people to stay out on the streets. You know, the Iranian government's in a very difficult position at the moment. On Thursday, the foreign ministers of what they're calling the grieving nations, Ukraine, Canada, Britain, Afghanistan, Sweden, are meeting in London. And they're going to be talking about compensation. Because now the Iranian government has admitted that it shot down this plane, it is going to have to pay compensation. And people, one of the things that they're furious about is how poor they are. And maybe one of the saddest things is all these university students who've been forced to leave Iran because there's no future for them there. That's why so many of them were on the plane going to Canada. And that is one of the things that's driving middle-class people onto the streets. Total despair that they have any future in Iran.